I wanted to get, if you can, I just fell down the rabbit hole. I started watching your videos about this Johnny Somali guy who apparently flies around and gets his ass kicked in various countries. Is that the meta thing? I don't know. Who is this guy?
So he's basically a guy that I think he followed in the footsteps of I don't know who
Like Ice
who this
Poseidon or
originated.
something like that.
Ice Poseidon was the guy that was traveling around and like
Yeah.
his audience kind of eggs him around. But since he's, I hate to say it, the trailblazer of the people that went out there and just got beat up, that he kind of gets the lion's share. And then some people see that and they don't understand the business side of what he's doing and how he's growing his audience. So he thinks, oh, if I just go out there and be belligerent, I can get super chats. But he initially went over and
like those 14-year-old kids the other day. I'm surprised you didn't make a video on that. I don't know if you did, but did you see that where they were like touching this lady's food and like they're just awful?
The thing is, though, is I do stuff on Johnny because he's an adult and he should know better.
Fair.
Those are kids getting caught up in something. And I was never that bad as a kid, but I could see myself if I had grown up in a different generation, only on TikTok. And, I call it fatherless behavior. Yeah. Maybe those kids don't have a dad in the house, or they just don't have a positive male role model to say, this doesn't look good on you. Like, this is going to follow you forever. So I never want to try to go too hard on especially kids that look like, I don't know how old they were, but
young probably. Yeah.
And it's like, what is it? The age old meta of like, men in their 30s making fun of the new generation of kids and shaking their fists. And I'm like,
yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
And I know Penguins covered it, but I also think that I don't know how it is for me as a smaller channel to cover kids. And it's like, oh, is that bullying? Because I try to be nice to Johnny as much as possible. Like I genuinely don't. I guess I don't feel bad for him, but I wish his life didn't have to be this way. Because in my latest video, when I said, hey, he's surrounded by all these people. Like if you go into his Discord server, you go into his chat, it's just people that actually want him to. He's going to lose his life doing this.
Yes, yeah.
And they just pay for it because they think it's going to be funny. And he thinks he's in there because everybody likes him, but it's like, no, they're just e-bullying you in a different way because they have $5 in super chat or bits or whatever it is. They can get you to essentially ruin your reputation forever. You never bounce back from this. I imagine if at any point in time later on in life, he meets a girl and he wants to settle down, or if he meets a guy, whatever his thing is.
Yeah.
But if he meets somebody and then their friends find that content, his significant other's family finds that content, he's done for it. Like
that's what happened to Ice, right? Ice Poseidon's own community is what destroyed him. Like they were he had like some pretty trailblazing stuff. Like I will say, I'm sure there are other people that did it, but Ice popularized the IRL streaming. There's just, I can't, at least in America, maybe there's people in like other countries that are popular. Yeah, Japan. But I mean, dude, Ice was the guy. He was the guy who was like, here's how you set up a gimbal. Here's how you get a hotspot, put it all in your backpack. Now everyone just has a 10-hour battery on their cell phone, and that's all they need. But
yeah,
this guy seems to make a habit of going to, like, okay, so just so people know, he went to Israel, insulted a female cop. That didn't end well for him. Yeah. He was in Japan, disrespected Japanese people. I think he made some Pearl Harbor reference.
Yes.
Very stupid. And then another country, Philippines, I think.
He was in Thailand. Well, it was originally in Japan. That's how he kind of broke out, because he was saying all those things about like Pearl Harbor and the atomic bombs, and just saying, like, just being mean to the Japanese people. They're overall pretty docile and friendly. The thing is, though, is he ran into like a Korean American guy.
I remember. Yeah.
And then what they thought was Yakuza came up on him, and then he got punched a couple times, and then he actually got knocked out by a tourist, like an American tourist from somewhere else. And then eventually he got arrested. So It's a Gundam did a good video on it recently where he shared stuff that I didn't know about, where he just openly admits on voice calls, like, oh, I'm a racist. Like, I'm a racist. Like, I just.
Oh, he really does say that. Oh,
yeah, okay. He openly admits he's a racist. Like, he's called me the hard R word, and he's seen my face, but also he's told me, like, you know, racial slurs for Chinese and stuff. And it's like this whole thing. And it's like, okay, he's trying to bait you into some sort of interaction because he wants to use it as content. That's fine. But then he went to Thailand and found out real quick that Thai customs aren't the same as Japanese customs. So like I think he was calling them the tuk-tuk drivers. He's like, yo, they're they're organized. Like they'll come after you as a whole. So then he left, and then they told him to go to Israel, which I think is just like the same people that told him to go there are telling him to go to China. And to my understanding, after I covered the video of him harassing the female cop, and then they showed up at his hotel the next morning, is he's currently in custody, I believe, and also he's in the process of being deported, which, I mean, they're just passing the buck, but I genuinely think that all of this just gave him content, and it's almost like, I don't, I'm not calling him a dog, but I'm just saying it's like it's bad dog syndrome. He doesn't get any attention, but if he chews up the carpet and the couch, finally somebody acknowledges him, and he sees that as a win. So now he's just doing bad stuff until it's going to be irreversible. Like, I think he already has a scar on his forehead from somebody hitting him with, I missed it in my video, they hit him with a sword. So,
oh, geez. Well, he's also down to his last platform too. It's from what I can understand. I think, shout out Rumble, but I think that's that's the only platform he's got left. And, Rumble does have rules. Like, if he's out there breaking the law on live stream, Rumble will ban him. And then he will have no platform left, which is essentially what happened to Ice Poseidon. He got banned off Twitch. He had no path to redemption. He begged and begged and begged to let them back on. It was really pathetic, but like and that's it. And now he's just like an obscure guy that streams for a small amount of people. And I got no problem with Ice Poseidon. Like, he never has wronged me. I know I think there was some weird racist stuff that potentially happened. I don't remember all the details, but I, like a lot of people, were definitely watching his like weirdo IPTV stuff where like he had people locked in the house and everybody was just a total degenerate, and you couldn't not watch it. It was compelling for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's I think that he had his ban on Kick, and then now he's back, but Cancel Johnny's is like an account on Twitter that basically just followed him around because he's like a Japanese account that doesn't like him. I didn't see it myself. He must have deleted it. But do you know that he was involved in a mass incident where somebody came into the restaurant he was at and popped
really?
in front of his face? That was why he was so upset. And there's a clip of it where it's obviously his camera. You can hear his voice. But first he's like, oh my God, this thing happened. And then he's like, praying, and he's in shell shock. Like,
You're talking about Johnny.
Johnny, yeah. And then after he saw it, then later on, there's video of him running up. There's people around, bodies on the ground. It looks like cops are trying to push him away. He's like, no, I almost lost my life. I need to see this. And he's trying to record the dead bodies with camera. And
I need content.
And I'm like, you lost your soul. Like, there's no coming back from this. If you just see people dying in front of you and you think it, oh my God, I need to live stream this. So you can make like $5 in super chats. Like, him and his buddy Gino, it's crazy that they think that they're going to be the next like Jack Doherty, not knowing that he was like a child YouTube star and also has like an OnlyFans aspect to his business. They literally think they're going to make it off of the smallest insignificant part of his business. They try to replicate it, and I see their fundraising efforts, and it's like, oh, they've been fundraising for 2 weeks and they've raised $85 in super chats.
Yeah. Well, isn't that this is alleged, but didn't that one kid like turn out girls when they're like 18, like essentially?
Well, I did a video on the Jack guy because I was wondering. I was like, okay, so he's always getting punched, and there's always like a screaming hot girl in the background. And the more I dug into it, is he almost admits it on the No Jumper podcast with Adam 22, where the first time he got,
sorry.
The first time, well, here's the thing. People have issues with them, but I, as a new content creator, Adam 22 had ABBA from ABBA and Preach on there, and I would watch that live stream like 2 or 3 times just to hear ABBA and him talking about like success on YouTube and how it kind of changes things and how to stay grounded. But okay,
might be a fine guy. I'm just busting his balls. Like, I got nothing personally against him,
But here's the thing is like he does all that stuff with his wife, Adam 22, just kind of like how Jack gets punched in the face. We'll talk about it. It spreads. But the thing is, like, what I found out is Jack got punched in the face really hard one time, and the next morning he's like, I got 11 million views. Like, he was ecstatic about it. So he realized you can't advertise OnlyFans to like kids on YouTube, but he can put a hot girl in the background, pick a fight with somebody random. He has a security. He has his security allow him to get decked. Has the girl in the background. Then when the videos goes viral, he tags their spicy content.
And then he's smart. Yeah.
But Here's my thing. I don't know the legality of it, but I think at some point in time, because he has pictures or videos of him with all his OnlyFans models in the plane flying him around, I was like, he's going to be like, these girls are all making millions and they're not regretting it. See them hit 30, see them realize, wait, this older guy grabbed me when I was 18, flew me around the world to do adult content.
Groomed him. Yeah.
Is he going to be like a trafficker? So now he's buying houses, but in 10 years, is he going to prison? I don't know.